welcome to part two of my Beatles look at their albums. I just wanted to say thank you for those that commented on part one. I found it really interesting when you would tell me, Steve, here's the song, and here's what I think about it. Especially some songs that I didn't like, I didn't get. You said, you know what? I think it's a great song, and here's why. Or, this album is here and it's rated here. Here's why. I thought that was really fascinating. And what it's allowed me to do is now to go back and re-listen to some of these songs with your input to say, okay, what does that sound like? And nobody called me a complete idiot, so that was pretty cool too. But it was a lot of fun. I just really had so many great comments to talk to me about why this particular album or this song means a lot to me. And that's how we learn, and that's how we all appreciate music. So thank you. Here we go, part two. I'm in a different shirt too. Here we're back. Beatles songs. My top. Last time I did kind of the bottom up. Now we're ready to go to the top. You're saying to Steve, last time you did this video, you were in that same shirt. Do you only have one shirt? No, I'm just doing this the same night. But it's getting too long, and I don't want to drag this. I don't want to do one of my normal epic videos. So if you missed part one, what I'm doing here is I'm not a Beatle fanatic. I learned the Beatles through watching the Beatles cartoon. That's what I knew of the Beatles. I have a halo about my head, so I'm very godlike again. God, it's so cool. And so through choir and through band, I learned some of the later catalog. Then through movies, I learned more of it. I learned Helter Skelter from that Charles Manson thing. That's how I learned it. So I never was a Beatles fanatic. I bought the CDs. I only had a couple Beatles albums. Never went out and collected them. It just wasn't that important to me. But I had two of each of the CDs. One was a special remastering. But then after the flood, I lost everything. And so as I thought about what do I want to do when I rebuild my record collection? And there was two things. I said, one, I'm going to get the early Bob Dylan albums because I've never really listened to him. And guess what? I have that box set. And I'll probably do, if people enjoy this, I'll do that, because that's going to be a newbie listening to Bob Dylan too. I know Bob Dylan. I had all his CDs, but I never listened to him. Like I mentioned in part one, I've listened to the Beatles, but never really listened to them. To sit down, to hold that album like we did when we were young, and we would look at each song and we would really listen to it. And that's what I did here. I spent 3 days and I listened to every Beatles album, and I went in order, right up chronological order. And this was done because Norman Maslow, Mazzy, sent me this box set. This is one of those SCLTs, and it was an incredible gift. I was going to buy a box set, and then this suddenly came, which just came just in the nick of time, so I was all ready to pull the trigger. And it's allowed me to revisit and learn to appreciate this. A lot of the Beatles songs I don't know. It's unbelievable how many songs I was unfamiliar with. Really, that's a Beatles song, because again, when I'm listening to music, I'm doing something. I'm working in the office. I might be doing my work. I might be I'm logging into Discogs. I always have something going on. For me, just to sit and do this, it's just doesn't happen too often. I just feel like I'm wasting my time, and God's going to strike me down at any time for being a lazy ass. So this was a good exercise. So what I did is I have my book, and I wrote down notes on everything, and most of them I can't read, which is for those of you who got thank you notes from me, you know that. You've seen my writing. So I went through, here's what we did the first time. I put, there's 12 albums. Yellow Submarine was number 12. Beatles for Sale, number 11. Please Please Me was number 10. Number 9 was Help. Number 8 was With the Beatles. Number 7 was Let It Be. That brings us to number 6. And I got to turn to my page where I have number 6. Oh, back. Sorry. Okay, number 6. Hard Day's Night. Came out in 1964. The title track, let's see, the title track was ingrained in my head. How about that? Easy lyrics. And it was. This goes back to the Beatles cartoon. It's been a hard day's night and I've been working like a dog. Yeah, at 5 years old, 6 years old, by God, we were singing that like we knew anything. Well, I had a paper out by 7, so maybe I was working like a dog. Then it goes into I Should Have Known. And I put familiar with it. And there is the bass guitar solo I really, really liked in that one. If I Fell was next. And I thought that was a beautiful ballad. It was extremely gentle song. Truly liked it. I'm Happy to Dance With You. Like I'd never heard that. It's the first time to me I've ever heard that song, and it made no impact. And I Love Her. To me, I put Finding, let's see, gosh bless it. Oh well, Finding Something. A better ballad than the first 2 albums. Okay, I think I put they were finding themselves. That's what I put. They were starting to learn, their ballads were getting better. They're getting more meaningful, and this was better than the first couple albums, and it had that rumba beat type of a beat to it that I enjoyed. Tell Me Why, very nice harmonies, mid-tempo, kind of filler though, and they have a falsetto in there that I truly didn't like. Can't Buy Me Love, hard rocker, great guitar solo, energy, again a song I was very familiar with, truly liked. Anytime at All, I put down it had a ferocious start. Gentle and bird songs. What am I talking about, man? Huh. Okay. I'll Cry Instead. Good mid-tempo type song. Movie was a big deal, but extremely goofy and great drumming. Okay, so the movie A Hard Day's Night I put down. It was extremely goofy and gave drummers a goofy sidekick reputation. So basically, the drummers became the sidekicks. Okay, I never saw it in the theater. I was too young. I just remember on TV, black and white, because we didn't get color until the 70s. But that's when I saw it, and it was just, again, it went above me. You know, I thought, oh, it's the Beatles, this is neat, and that, and they played some songs, but didn't get it. Maybe it's the British humor. They were sad today. Vocals were clean and pure. I thought that was a really, really good song. Things were said today. That's not sad. Things were said today. Really like that one. Always blew this album off, and that's true. There's no covers on this. I always thought that this would be a crappy album. If there's one I wasn't going to listen to, it was this. It was much, much better. Ranked much higher than I expected, and I really liked it and appreciated it. So Hard Day's Night from Beatles. A lot of new songs to me that were a revelation. And we go to number 5. Number 5 is, let me turn to my page, and we'll have the drum roll. This may piss some people off, but we're just going on what I hear. The White Album. Before I lost all my albums, I would have said the White Album's my favorite album. I never really listened to them. Again, I never spent time really listening. And there was just some songs on the White Album that I thought were some of the best. And I agree, there's some of these songs I still think are some of the best. Now, when I look at the Hard Day's Night, there was 4 songs I really loved. White Album, there's 6 songs I really love. But this baby's a 2-record set. Look at that. Crease pop. Mazzy, you never opened that thing. So here's my thoughts on this one. Back in the USSR, that's one of those that is just so good. It's just one of the top Beatles songs in my mind. Just rocking hard, just gosh darn it, you want to air guitar that sucker. Dear Prudence, an outstanding ballad. It's just so beautiful. Obidi, Obada. It has this dance hall type feel to it. I never really liked dance hall that much. I know some of the British bands were doing a lot of it, the Kinks and that, and I never got into that dance hall feel. There was Wild Honey Pie. To me, it was a toss-off. I found it, I put down really grating. Didn't like it. Buffalo Bill, which I found out really is Bungalow Bill. Never heard that thing right. And I wrote the word, I just wrote down pointless. I didn't do anything. To me, this album I put had such highlights. A single LP, it would have been the most perfect album in the whole world. Now, I know they were experimenting, and now suddenly we got the money, and we can do this, and we can do that, and we're trying, and I get that. And if you're a Beatles fanatic, you probably love it. It's something you love. Man, did you hear this? Did you hear what they're doing here? But if you're just coming in, and you're really listening it to the first time, and just kind of, boy, this was down to one album with these my favorite songs on there. Holy smokes, that thing would be a tour de force. My Guitar Gently Weeps. I put that is a song of beauty and shows how how much guitar playing had improved, and it really does. Just so much beauty to that one. Happiness is a Warm Gun. I said interesting song, great lyric writing. Birthday, Helter Skelter. Killer songs. Well, more ways than one, weren't they? But Helter Skelter, again, one of those that you just crank up. And too bad Manson put his own thing to it, but it doesn't matter. That is such a neat song. Again, really loved it. Your Blues, great rock and feel to it. Mother Nature Son, nice sweet folk feel. It was okay. There go Helter Skelter again, all-time great song. Long, Long, Long. And I thought Long, Long, Long was too long, and it was, to me, a lot of filler. And there's other ones I haven't talked about on here because there's so many of them. It would have been, before the flood, I actually had an original press of this. And, obviously gone. And now, it's, after really listening to it, it's a good album. But to me, there was just too much in there that I just didn't like, and it didn't need to be too. So let's move on to number 4. Beatles fans, don't unsub me just because of this. Gosh darn it! But here we go. Critics around the world. Number 4, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Not saying it's a bad album. It's a great album. It's an outstanding album. It's one of the best albums. It was an album that really, changed so much. But as a person just sitting down, not being a Beatles fan, I like the Beatles, but not a raving fan, to listen to it. Very good. In fact, there are 7 songs on here that I like. 7. That's the highest there's ever been so far. I put opening track is, I called it the Mustache album because they all have mustaches. Okay. I said the opening track, outstanding. It made such a statement, and it did. This came out in '67, and it blew everyone's socks off. A Little Help got an asterisk. Perfect Ringo song. Finally, that was the most perfect Ringo song. It's not a favorite, but it is very, very nice. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I thought Elton John did that song. I never knew the Beatles. Now, I did know, but by the end of the 70s, I knew it was done by the Beatles, okay? But when Elton John did his version, I thought he did that. And I thought, wow, that's really good. That's how little I knew of the later Beatles. But obviously I like that. It's a favorite. And again, very, very trippy instrumentation, which makes it interesting. And I think that's why Beatles fans really enjoy this. The experimentation was so incredible on this album, on what they were doing. And there they all have mustaches. But I'm looking at it in a little different way. I said, album showed what could be done in the studio. Also, it opened the door for wasteful excess. It really did. It just changed how things were recorded, and some so now it just became, you know what, you can stay in the studio forever and keep doing it. Fixing a Hole. That's a track I would skip. On an earlier album, it would be a standout. But to me now, it wasn't. She's Leaving Home. Such a sad song. Not a favorite, but it's a very, very nice strings. I love the string arrangement. The Benefit of Mr. Kite. I never liked it for the Circusville instrumentation. Just that part doesn't appeal to me. It's that dance hall kind of stuff. Within You, Without You. I put two out there for me. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm not very out there. Let's just say. When I'm 64, again, that was a choir song, very whimsical. I was in a special. I was in the not the special choir for like special, but we were the swing choir, and we did When I Was 64. I had a solo on that one. Lovely Rita. Like the feel, the vocals, the harmonies, love the whole thing. And I do. I think Lovely Rita sounds lovely. It has beautiful sounding. Good. Oh, Good Morning. Fun, but can grate on me after a while. And A Day in the Life. That song, I just wrote down, it created new rules. And did. I mean, really, Sgt. Pepper did create new rules. It did open up a whole thing. So historically, what it did, it's an extremely important album. But to me, as really just listening for the first time, it wasn't my favorite. Well, what was, damn it? Okay, number 3. Oh, we're all waiting now, right? Okay, number 3 was Rubber Soul. This came out in 65. Now, suddenly, you can barely see their ears. Okay? To me, I put down, I think of maturity. And when I listen to it, that's what I think about. Drive My Car, Norwegian Wood, Nowhere Man, and Michelle. All 4 on this. All 4 of those I knew and I loved. I thought they were just incredibly good songs. They were using new instruments that put more Dylan and Bird influences and the lyrical maturation. They were really maturing in what they were doing lyrically on this album. You Won't See Me. Beautiful oohs and la la la's and a nice use of the piano. There, see, I'm liking the piano now. Nowhere Man. Great guitar sound and vocals. Gosh darn, that's a beautiful song. The Word. My word is nothing special on that one. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Another song, easy, that's very easy on the ears. What Goes On? Ringo song. And I put nothing special, country feel to it. And, well, he had that country type of voice. Girl and the song I'm Looking Through You. Both of those were great songs. I thought both had just a really nice sound to it. In My Life, harpsichord song on the piano, beautiful written song. It spoke to me, it really hit me. Wait, nothing special, didn't much care for it. If I Needed Someone, great guitar, Byrds guitar and harmony. So, I mean, it just sounded like the Byrds. I don't know who copied who, but that's what I felt. Run for Your Life was a great little rocker. So again, I thought they really had matured with this one. There were 7 songs on here that I truly liked a lot, and this thing is one that I would play over and over because there's just so many. There's just this beauty to the album. It's not really way out there and spaced out. It's just gorgeous beauty. Okay, number 2 surprised me because I thought this one would be a lot lower than what it was. It's Abbey Road. I've never kind of got into it or thought about it. And it's later Beatles. I never listened to them at that time. I was still too young to care about that. And when I got older, the Beatles that was the past. That's not what I'm listening to. So this was amazing, and I'm going to have to get one of those new reissues. That's my thought now. So there's this came out in '69. Come Together, outstanding song, loud the love the bass guitar, and Come Together is an all-time favorite song. How could you not want to stand up and just do an air bass to that sucker? Something, nicely constructed song, well crafted. Maxwell Silver Hammer, okay, but to me it's not great. Octopus's Garden, very, very good harmonies, nice country feel, again for Ringo. Give Ringo the country, right? Just don't let him rock out. I Want You, feel so dark, really fuzzy, heavy guitars. Here Comes the Sun, joyful, optimistic, beautiful. It warms your heart. It makes you feel good. I think it's a happy song. I don't know. I think it's happy. To me, it's happy. Don't tell me otherwise. Because wonderful harmonies, focuses on the voices and not the instruments. Gorgeous. Okay, I really like that one. You Never Give Me Money, and then also Sun King. I wrote nice harmonies on both of them. Me and Mr. Mustard. Good song, nice melody. Polythene Pam. Great guitars, first time hearing it. Never had heard it. I liked it. Can I think Oh, she came in through the bathroom window. Wow, what the hell did I write? She came in through the bathroom window. Well-crafted song. Album has some of the best harmonies and best productions. Carry the weight, inspiring and uplifting. So this thing really, it spoke to me more than I thought. I really didn't think that it would be that good. I know it's good. All Beatles albums are good. Don't get me wrong. Even if it's number 12, it's still a good album. But this thing really, really spoke to me. Man, yeah, amazing. I had 6 songs I really liked on that one. Fell down there. So number 1, you already know it. If you've watched the whole thing. If you haven't, then hell, you don't know where I'm at, do you? Number 1, my favorite Beatles song album is Revolver. Love the artwork. I thought it was super cool artwork on here, but I wasn't rating the artwork. Came out in '66. It had the 1-2 punch of Taxman and Eleanor Rigby. Eleanor Rigby is one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs. We sang it in choir. We played it in orchestra. It was fun. I loved it. The lyrics are ingrained within my brain. We did it so much. But every time, this is a sing at the top of your lungs. And when you played it in band, it was so incredible. Just one of my all-time favorites. And then the Taxman. Those guitars on Taxman blew me away. Just wonderful stuff. Love You Too. Made the sitar sound cool. I haven't really said that too often. For the most part, I'm not a sitar kind of guy. But on this case, the sitar did sound cool. Hello There and Everywhere. Hello There and Everywhere. Yep, sweet ballad, great harmonies. Seemed tame to me. Okay, somehow I just didn't think it didn't jump out. Yellow Submarine. That's where it first came out. Best karaoke song ever. There's a little bar up in northern Minnesota where I was with a group of martial arts guys. We were going up for a retreat, canoeing in the Boundary Waters. And we stopped at this dive bar, and it was karaoke night. And who's going to do karaoke? I says, I'll do karaoke. And I get up there. Give me Yellow Submarine. By God, I got that whole bar singing together. One of the best sing-along songs in the world. And all these people that didn't know who the hell I was, we sang Yellow Submarine together. Absolute best karaoke song because it's in such a good key, you know. You don't have to do a falsetto. Good Day Sunshine. Nice and upbeat. Driving song. Let's see. What the? Yeah. Man. Huh. She said. She said, I'm only sleeping and tomorrow never knows, Mr. Roberts. Those were all really good songs that I've always enjoyed. I want to tell you, Harrison guitars were getting trippy. He really began to get out there. Got to Get You Into My Life, joyous song, another song of beauty and joy. Tomorrow Never Knows, trippy, weird, experimental, excessive drums, nightmare, scary, but interesting, but not a favorite. There are 7 songs I truly enjoyed on here, and so this becomes listening to each of the albums. This is my favorite Beatles album. Now, I could go and I could start studying these, reading more, read books. Read books brings you into it. I've read books about the Beatles, you know, and I know about some of these stuff, but yeah, that's my take on this. So hope you enjoyed this. It was fun for me. It was fun to do this, and if there's a nice response, I just may do it with Bob Dylan, which is a guy I have just struggled with. But I started when I bought the box set to really sit and listen to what I did with the Beatles. But I really wanted to do this first of all because of the kindness of Norman Maslow for sending these albums to me, but also I know this is one of probably the most important group in the world to many people, and I want to give you the opinion of someone that's never listened to the Beatles, and he's 61. Thanks everyone for watching this. Have a great evening. Bye.